And now we are recording. Okay. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's been almost a week since we've been online because a few days ago, tomorrow will be a week, I had my gallbladder taken out. And it's not been a pleasant experience lately.
Didn't bother me.
Nothing much bothers you. Oh, by the way, you had a problem with the mice. Lately, for the past month and a half or so, I've had a problem with gnats, little gnats. All right. And I found out my neighbor next door has the same problem. I don't know if it's because we've got plants in the apartment or what it is, but we never had them before. I've been here, 6, 7 years? Never had these things before. And now they're all over. I got a trap set out every day, and I catch dozens of them. It's half a cup of warm water, some dishwashing liquid. I'm sorry. Dishwashing liquid, about 5, 6 drops, sugar and apple cider vinegar, and stir it up. I leave it there, and dozens of them come over in a 24-hour period. I got to keep flushing it down the toilet and putting a new trap out. It's annoying.
In regards to the mice, I've taken down 12 mice.
You've taken down 12?
Yeah, that's 12 altogether now.
I saw something advertised the other day. I don't know if it was on Instagram or Facebook, that a guy claims it'll keep mice away, and it doesn't kill them. It just drives them away. They're little sachets that you put here and there. I know one of the scents in them is peppermint, which apparently mice don't like.
Here's something that pisses me off. I want to mention before I forget it. Something I just discovered not more than about 10 minutes ago. I'm flipping through YouTube, and I see an image of John Lennon, and it's basically the title. I forget exactly what the title is, but it says an unpublished song by John Lennon, something like that, right?
Okay.
So I go playing it, and I'm listening to it, and it sounds kind of like something that John Lennon might make, but it just felt off.
Might be AI.
It was it's called AI Beatles. So, and I'm going, no wonder there's an undefinable element that was not in it, that I felt immediately that it was just it was kind of like a word salad song. You know what I mean? Where you just pluck phrases and terms that John Lennon might have used and just jumble them together.
Right.
Anyway, the thing is that pisses me off, because there are people that are going to see that, and they may not either realize nor care that that's not a John Lennon song. So it's, in a sense, what you're doing is you're assaulting the memory of John Lennon by putting these lies up. And it doesn't matter if you go ahead and you say AI Beatles. It's just, I don't know. It seems like you're robbing his soul. It seems like you're robbing his spirit.
Yeah, it's strange. Recently, I heard or read somewhere that AI, people were afraid AI would be writing books and doing films and so on and so forth. But they're saying that there's something lacking. There's another little gnat running around, flying around. They have, they're missing something, and it's not quite. You don't have the heart, the soul, whatever you want to call it, of a real person in it. So that even poetry by AI you should be able to tell in most cases, not all, but in most cases, that it's AI, not from a real person.
Well, if it's an unknown artist, if you're not promoting it as a particular artist, like a copy of somebody else's work, then you might be a little bit more open-minded as to what's coming at you. But when you're told that it's from so-and-so, see, here's the thing. There's this term called imbue, okay? And the thing is that on a spiritual, if you get into metaphysics, okay, there's this concept that our thoughts project, and the area that you're in gets imbued. gets permeated with these thoughts, because thoughts are energy. Energy has a frequency, and it leaves a signature. That's what I
Yeah.
believe ghosts are. Basically, an intense signature. So the thing is that AI can't do that. It doesn't have the bio engine that does that. So maybe on a metaphysical level, there are missing components that we as human beings can recognize.
Right. They were saying that basically that we don't have to worry about AI taking over the arts and so forth because people are going to be able to tell. I don't know. These younger generations are, I don't know, the way they think sometimes. Well, I can't say it for this last generation. Who's the latest generation? Z? They seem to be a
Yes,
little
when I know.
they seem to be a little better
No, the
up
most
here.
recent generation is generation fucked.
No, generation fucked is the millennials and I gotta plug this in. Millennials and hold on a sec. Excuse me.
Well, the silent generation is the one that came before us. The greatest generation
The
came.
greatest generation came before us. We were silent generation.
Some discomfort getting up and down.
Still some, yeah.
Okay. My suggestion when you do that is discuss this with your lawyer, with your lover, and tell him to be a little bit more gentle.
Ha faggot.
Yeah, that's what it's about. So anyway.
Okay. Anyway, AI. I don't think we have to worry about AI doing away with all artistic endeavors.
Well, if you listen to a lot of the music nowadays, it's mixed. It's not actually performed by musicians. It's performed by technicians, which can be argued as another form of musicianship, because you're interested in getting this out product. But if I hit a button and all of a sudden I get this fixed beat coming out, the fixed beat is a digital product. It's not, it's a recording. It's not.
Yeah, it's
alive.
something you're using to help create whatever you're creating.
You're creating these.
Cool.
You're DJing. You're not producing music. You're basically just producing a sound.
Unless you are putting your own music in there, playing an instrument on your own, or you can create music basically out of all these different sounds that you are not playing on an instrument per se, but you put them all together in a way where it's kind of it's a DJ thing. However, it is also a creation, a personal creation.
Yes, I understand that. And there's also another thing. There's these people that do live performances with these loop boxes where they'll do a song or they'll sing something and they'll record it and they'll use that as a pattern. And then all of a sudden they loop the pattern over and over again and they continue to mix it up. So that's a little bit different, because we're not talking about pre-recorded patterns per se. We're talking about patterns that you're creating in the moment. So there's a lot going on there. I had a friend I had a friend a long time ago, and he hated synthesized music. Hated it. He felt that he felt that it was not music.
Right.
We're going back to the 70s when they used synth.
Right. Oh, speaking of what you said about the loop and so forth, I remember there was a joke about Barry White years ago. Remember Barry White?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the joke was he made one record that was 45 minutes long, and then they cut it in pieces and released it that way.
Oh my God! Yeah, he was like, "Oh baby, baby,
Oh,
you love baby," and he walks in with now this fat bastard who weighed about 400 pounds walks in with all these women on the arm. No, they're not escorts. These are all my chicks. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because we know that you're swooning them with that baby song.
Yeah, you're so attractive. You had that deep voice, man, which was cool.
Well, There was another segment.
No, come on. It's like this girl I worked with at a few years ago. Okay, I won't say her name or anything, not to embarrass her, but it was actually now. The word was that she was androgynous. She had both things. Okay, but on the phone when I first used to talk to her, calling the other store to where she was working at the time, sounded like the sweetest voice you ever heard. You wanted to meet. This was like Betty Boop, only better. Okay, and
Oh wow,
really,
that's
really sexy.
baby voice.
And it turns out when I saw her in person, looked like some fat guy with long reddish blonde hair that used to play football and now had tits.
I knew somebody
But
who
actually, I came to like this person very much. A really, really nice person. You know.
I knew somebody who ran one of those call for sex things. You call on the phone and they'd walk you through masturbation or whatever.
Oh, she could do that with her.
Yes, but
There was a put-on voice. When she talked normally, it was different.
we're done talking about her. We're talking about me and this person who.
Yes, where you used to have to call up for sex, which is why you've been divorced 35 times.
I want the floor. The biggest problem they had in that business was this.
Laugh.
Laugh, you asshole, laugh. Yes. But anyway, the biggest problem she actually had in that business, because she ran it, was that they kept finding it difficult to find chairs for these women to sit in because they were all huge and heavy, because heavy set women do have that I can't breathe voice. Hey, hi.
No, that's not even a put on. No, this was she'd be talking like this, and then she'd have this high pitched voice. Oh my God, it was such a sexy voice. I used to think I never heard such a sexy voice before, and what a disappointment when she came to work at the store I was at. You know, but like I said, you can't judge a cover by its book, a book by its. You can't do either one.
You can't judge a cover by its book, because the cover may
Oh my God!
cover up another book and put it in the book.
Oh, this is fucking painful.
Be miserable, you motherfucker.
Oh yeah, I was miserable the moment I got on the phone online with you. Jeez. I still have to put away one from yesterday.
The first time my jokes actually truly kept somebody in stitches.
I'm trying not to burst the stitches. Oh shit!
Oh, you won't. You won't.
Hey, cut it out, or I'm going to show you my scars.
Well, I'll be honest with you. You're having far more trouble than I had with my gallbladder when I came out. The day after I had the operation, I just drove home.
Oh, I didn't drive. Well, I was brought home the day of the operation,
Right.
And the problem I've had lately really has been getting up. Luckily, one of the nurses at my primary doctor's had it out. She said she found out best thing to do is roll on your side and kind of push yourself up.
Right. Well, you know.
However, there were a couple of times when I was like, I can't get up, man. I'm like struggling and it's hurting. The slightest thing hurts, and I had to somehow maneuver my elbow under me and so forth to get up and push with the other tricep and try not to get my core involved. It's amazing how much your core is involved in almost everything you do.
Yeah, your core is your core. So, the thing is that
that is so deep. That's so deep. We should bury it in cement.
Tell your boyfriend to hold back. So anyway,
no, I'm okay. I mean, I've been walking out yesterday and the day before. I walked about 2.5 miles, and so I'm okay because there's air on. They pump you with air so when they go in, they can see what's going on. They lift the skin, and they work that way. So the problem is the air. I don't know why they can't take the air out.
Did you take a video of the operation? They could have told you all this shit. We're going to pump you full of air, and they blamed that shit.
No, there was definitely a bump of air. There's still a little bit now. I think it's just swelling actually from the wounds.
That's the operation at work, sure.
Anyway,
Before we forget, let us remember October the
I got
7th.
this on because I got hold on. I got this on because I got a T-shirt on, but
And
it's
take it
hot.
off. You're wearing a
Yes, I know.
with
I
they
didn't want you to get you too excited. You faggot.
So the thing is, yesterday was October the 7th, the anniversary of the massacre that Hamas was responsible for.
Yep.
So, in my opinion, a dead Hamas is a good Hamas.
Mm-hmm.
So,
The only good Hamas.
and Israel seems to be in agreement with me because they took down another big wheel. They're running out of people in charge. It's like,
Yeah.
a guy in charge dies and somebody goes, who wants to be in charge? Not me. The son of bitches will kill me.
No, you know what? It's like Scott and Adams said. You get the leaders of these groups, and they know what they're doing, and they can plan shit like terrorist acts, so forth. But then you take them out. Then they got the second in command. Now he's been around the first in command, so he kind of has pretty good knowledge of what to do and what not to do and everything. But then Israel takes him out, and then all of a sudden they go to the third guy. He's still okay, probably still got some knowledge, but now they take that guy out like almost right away, and now you're left with the fourth and beyond. And these guys are like, no, I don't know what to do.
What happens when you get more than 3 Hamas people together in the same room?
You get a page from Israel.
No. Maybe. That's a good one. I didn't think of that one. No, the thing that happens when you get 4 or more Hamas together in the same room is one of them is a general.
One of them what?
If you'd shut up, you'd hear it. One of them will be made general. So anyway,
my joke was better.
No, it wasn't. You were
defeated. It was. Yes, it was.
It was okay.
It was better. It was.
I tell you what. In the realm of Roy jokes, it was very good. In the realm of everybody else's jokes, it was okay.
You know what? With the blue thing on and with your arms up like that, you look like some kind of ape. I'm just waiting for you to go like this.
See, this is why I don't like video, because I forgot I was on video.
No, that's all right. It's okay. Look at me.
This is weird. Why am I doing this? I don't know. My body just said, Mike, stretch your arms out.
You're stretching. Yes. You're comfortable. You're stretching. You're doing what you would have done in a one-on-one conversation or in a conversation with a few people. Anyway, so we get on to the
let's talk about the hurricanes and the FEMA failures.
I don't know if they are so much they're failures for the American people, for the people who have been affected by the hurricanes. But I don't know that they are failures per se. I think they are planned. I think the American government, this regime is at war with the American people. We just don't realize it yet.
That's my realize. Yeah. Actually, I don't know if it's some. Yeah. First of all, FEMA. Well, they use most of their money to support illegal aliens in this country. That's why they don't have any money. Then we sent $6 billion over to Ukraine. I have a feeling we could have used that. Then I mean, the good news is that the labor union that was going to strike and block the port chose not to anymore.
So 2 days.
Yes, and the thing is that
they got their raise 60-something%.
Well, whatever it is,
that's a nice fucking raise, man.
Actually, I don't know if that may be a temporary raise.
No, that's definite, but it's contingent on their coming to an agreement on AI and automation within 90 days.
In January, they are going to renegotiate. So I don't know what the story is with that, but the important thing is that they shook hands and they stopped the thing. And regardless of whether it's for selfish reasons or whatever, I'm just glad they did it. and you know, it's a bad rain that don't help somebody. But FEMA and the United States government, especially since there was this big push of trying to stop civilians from being able to go into these disaster areas and help the victims of the disasters. That ain't no fucking government I want to be part of.
Well, not just stopping them. They were confiscating the supplies, the food and supplies that these people were bringing in for the hurricane victims.
Yeah,
They
probably
were
send over
taking
to.
it, and wait a minute. Worse, they were not sending it to the victims. They were not passing it on to the victims. They were diverting these supplies and foodstuffs to illegal aliens, the same
Yes.
people who they've been spending billions on. Okay,
And
and here's another thing: the same friggin' day that they allotted $2 million to help the hurricane victims, they sent 157 million to Lebanon the exact same day.
Well, here's another thing: the $700 that they promised the victims of the hurricane. No, those people are not getting it. They filled out
No, they
forms. They're
can't.
not.
They're rejected.
Mhm.
The ones who can get to a computer and
Now
fill
you
out the
have
application are being
you have
rejected.
hurricane hitting Tampa area, which is they're talking about intense increases in water height of 10 or more feet. That's a lot, dude. For a flat state like that, that's a lot. So
Yes,
the thing is that it's
they hate. Notice one other thing too. These hurricanes, and I'm convinced they are being seeded by HARP, by the government, because the hurricane was dying out, the Helene, and all of a sudden it reinvigorated, and then it was turned inland somehow, and it flooded the Appalachian Mountains. It flooded mountains, areas that have never been flooded before, and wiped
see,
out whole towns. And
here's
coincidentally,
coincidence.
the area is rich in about 350 different minerals, including a huge deposit of lithium. And
Okay,
the lithium factory has been trying to put in a mine for a long time. And the people have been resisting. Now the government is saying, from what I heard, this is alleged, I guess, but what I hear is the government is telling people, well, you can't live here anymore. It's unlivable. And now this land is ours. The
well,
government.
I don't know how much I agree with in regards to what Roy just said, but I will say this: many years ago, I think in 2008 or something around that, Jesse Ventura exposed an installation up in Alaska called HARP, High Altitude Radar Projection. I believe that's what it goes for. So anyway, it was rumored that it was capable, not just, first of all, it was designed supposedly to be able to manage and pitch various sections of the atmosphere for to protect the us from asteroids. In other words, create some sort of angle
Barrier.
that would bounce the asteroid off. But a number of people said, "Oh, by the way, you could project that radar energy, which was many arrays." Like they showed a picture of all of the radars that were out there, and they were beyond my ability to count. They were all synchronized, so they could all send massive power in one direction. So it was rumored that they might be able to project that energy to cause weather disturbances. Okay, so that was like many years ago. Okay, rumor has it, and Roy's heard this rumor as well, that there's more than one country now that has one of these things. So what would happen if, let's say, some country that doesn't like us, like Iran, has a setup and decides to coordinate it with traders in the United States and maybe throw two of these guys at things? Like if these things can do what people fear them to do, which is to change the conditions of the atmosphere, which they admitted themselves. They said, "Hey, we can push the atmosphere up." Okay, so if you can do that, what else can you do with the atmosphere? Because you've already said you can manipulate the atmosphere. You admitted that yourself. So if you can do all that and you do it in a coordinated effort with more than one of these facilities, what can you do? So and to reference that, these things are putting out tremendous amounts of energy. Okay, like the amount that a town might actually need by itself. So that's, just imagine, a lot of energy, okay, going out. Now we're talking about maybe 100,000 watts. I don't know how many. It's a lot. But anyway, when they go checking for oil deposits underground, the way it works is the person searching for it, the geologist, he has a device and he taps it into the ground, and it sends a pulse into the earth, a signal into the earth. Now that device is 30 watts. Probably produces less energy, uses less energy than your refrigerator, right? That is able to go ahead and penetrate the earth and touch oil deposits thousands of feet below and cause them to resonate and vibrate to such an extent that they can read the vibrations and know how big the energy field is. So if 30 watts can do that, what can 100,000 watts do?
Hey, I also should bring up the point that recently there were floods in Qatar, okay, in an area that is pure desert, that has very little, if any, rainfall.
Qatar,
Qatar, Qatar.
Most people say Qatar. I have heard Qatar.
People are saying Qatar. No, the media is trying to get us to say Qatar. I fell into that trap. I'm sorry. It is Qatar. Okay, and anyway, they had flooding in the desert, which they've never had in modern memory. Anyway,
right. That's like the Sphinx.
Yeah.
So it was in a has evidence of severe rain damage over thousands of years, and believe that where the Sphinx is at one time was so far, was actually there when there was a jungle or greenery in that area.
Yeah.
So that's
by the way, speaking of the Sphinx, not another tangent here. They have proven that there is an opening under the Sphinx left paw. Okay, Edgar Casey predicted this back in the 30s, that they would find something there that would change a lot of things, change religions and everything. And I forget the jerk's name. The guy who wears the little phony cowboy hat. He refuses. What?
Graham Hickok?
No, not Graham Hickok. The Egyptian head of antiquities, Hawassi. Hawassi. I don't remember his name. He made a lot of documentaries for History Channel. He's a real jerk off. He refuses to go.
Recently, in his back pocket, it's the same guy with a beeper.
Beaker.
Beeper.
Beeper. No, I wish they put a beeper in his pocket. Anyway, this guy refuses to allow archaeologists to dig there. And it was, so they know something's there. And we don't know, however, if the Egyptians themselves aren't already digging there and finding whatever it is they're finding and keeping it quiet, because it would change, according to Edgar Casey, it would change the major religions of the world. It would be a shock to the system, basically.
Well, that's less of an issue than it would have been back then, because nowadays there's so many people that are no longer associated with religions. They're just
but you still have 1.5 billion Muslims who would refuse to believe anything that goes contrary to what they believe. There are devout Catholics feel the same way. There are devout non-denominational, other denominational Christians who would probably feel the same way. But I don't know.
But the thing is that the United States government is failing its people in this time of crisis in numerous ways. Number one, with the relief for the hurricanes. Okay. Number two, with their inability to manage um, affairs overseas, with their inability to handle law breakers in this country, the inability to handle the recognition of our border. So we are
This
in
is
great.
all done purposely. It's not an inability. It's an ability. It's a very calculated attempt to destroy our country from within.
Right. What you
And listen, look, and also these
it's,
hurricanes. This last
it's
hurricane was targeted Republican areas.
right. We're you're hung up on the semantics of it. I see they're not willing to do something in inability. It's not a question. They're not incapable of doing it.
They're
They're
not incompetent. They're very competent at what they're doing. What they're doing is the opposite of what they should be doing.
they know how to destroy things. That's for sure. I don't know how good they are at building things.
Not so good. Oh, they were also confiscating at first Starlink equipment that Elon Musk was sending in to
Mm-hmm.
restore communications. And the only communications those people have now are thanks to Starlink. And at first, the government was trying to keep it out. And he had a problem. You mentioned that he talked to Buttigieg and got it straightened out. I heard he had a problem because Buttigieg was the one holding it up. I don't
Well,
know.
according to it, I saw the tweet from Musk. He gave Buttigieg kudos for alleviating the problem.
Okay, all right.
Buttigieg was responsible for the problem, and then he changed his mind, and he undid it. So I don't know what to tell you, because there's so many back doors in our government nowadays. It's hard to tell what's going on. But
Buttigieg knows about backdoors.
Trump physically went down, I believe, to Georgia or South Carolina or North Carolina, and brought millions of dollars worth of gasoline with him.
Yeah.
And that's also he made sure that the Starlinks were there. The thing is that there were military assets all around that were not activated to help, which is standard operating procedure.
Yeah, you activate the National Guard in emergencies like this.
Right. You need manpower. Okay. And by the way, that's not an antiquated term. You need manpower in order to be able to handle some of it. Some of the stuff is just grunt work. So the thing is that they have failed those states. Okay. Which means that if they had any hope of actually getting politically getting those states on their side, they just lost it.
Yeah, but they're also going to use this as a thing where they won't be able to vote in those areas.
Well, it's not November yet.
Not November yet. Yeah, but these people.
Yeah. So the thing is that knowing that the discord that's there, I'm quite sure political factions on both sides are looking at it and seeing how they can manage the situation.
Yeah.
So as a matter of fact, I'm in Pennsylvania, and 2 days ago I got my mail-in ballot. So I'm gonna fill it out today and send it out.
Did you request it?
Yeah.
Okay. Because a lot of people are getting 2 ballots sometimes and without requesting any.
Well, I know that was the case in the past. I don't know if that's going on now.
Well, in Pennsylvania, they're trying to do something to straighten it out. In Arizona, they had a judge recently overturn a law that said you had to show ID to vote. And he said no, because they got 200,000 illegals that they want voting without having to show ID. Arizona supposedly went for Biden by a margin of 10,000 votes last time out.
ID doesn't
200,000.
ID in and of itself does not prove that you're a voter. You have to be on the register and have ID. So
Yeah, you have to be a registered voter with ID. But there are some states like Colorado, Arizona. As soon as they're giving illegals licenses, and
yeah,
along with the license, they're registering them automatically.
what a public
This is
service.
this is treason to the United States of America. Okay, and these people who are involved in this deserve to be tried for treason, and if found guilty, hanged or shot before a firing squad. I don't care.
Well, I would just like to see them lose their jobs for sure, and then possibly punished in a reasonable manner. Um, Hanged for that. Well, you know what? If it was on,
Treason is a capital offense.
yeah, I don't know if you're going to get a treason charge on these guys. I think what you can do is, you can get them on some sort of charge that they misuse
Definitely
their,
criminal charges.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but the important thing, regardless of uh what happens, if people who are performing in these matters that are grossly criminal, okay, so much so you don't need a law degree to see it, like this particular situation, then they should be punished in some manner that makes it truly undesirable to do that again. And that's the whole point of punishment. It's not
Yeah.
about being cruel. It's
Okay.
about,
Find them, fire them, jail the ones who have done the most egregious acts.
it's like spanking. You know, people used to spank their children. Why? Because because they didn't expect the child to understand the rationale behind their ethics, but they did expect the child to understand that they would receive pain if they performed this. And then as you get older, you learn that this is not the way you behave. So,
Mm-hmm.
you can't explain everything to children of a certain age. That I this is going to hurt the liberals. So you might want to close your ears, Mr. and Mrs. Liberal, or they, them, and this, and cat, and monkey girl, monkey boy. Um, the thing is that children, regardless of how wonderful they really are, they don't have the database nor the intellectual capacity at the time to be able to go ahead and make what are considered commonly as adult choices. Okay? So there's certain things that you can let them do. What flavor ice cream do you want? Do you want to play with Sally? Okay? But should you cut your penis off? It's not something that you should ask a 4-year-old.
No, of course not.
Do you feel like a boy or a girl today? I feel like Superman. Oh, well then let's hit you with radiation.
Yeah, I saw a meme the other day of a young kid looking worried at the camera and saying, please don't cut my penis off just because I like the color pink."
Yeah, yeah.
Which is what it comes down to.
I like the T-shirt that says, "Dear God, when I die, please don't let me vote Democrat."
Yeah. That's been around a long time.
I love
Democrats have had a bad rap since I mean, Mark Twain, in Mark Twain's days, one of the biggest insults you could give someone was to say, "Oh, he's a Democrat."
Well, the biggest problem I'm having with Democrats now is about 5-6 years ago. If somebody talked shit about the Democrats, I said, "Well, there's good and bad and all." But it seems like all the really good Democrats, the guys I like,
Left.
are now on the right. So it's like we're running out of decent Democrats in the Democratic Party. So
everybody in the Democratic Party is united, and they march in lockstep, literally, and their talking points are all the same. Oh, J.D. Vance is weird. All of a sudden, you have every talking head in media saying he's weird. Every Democrat politician saying he's weird, weird, weird. Okay,
from Waltz, of all fucking people, from Waltz.
Did you see that asshole at the debate? His beady little eyes, like he looked like he was cornered. He looked like a deer in headlights. Yep. He looked like a deer in headlights. jerk
Yeah,
off.
well, the thing is that he has those bug eyes. So does Mrs. Waltz. Is it Mrs. Waltz?
Oh my God, she's as much of a wacko as he is.
I think she might be worse. As a matter of fact,
Mrs.
if
Beard, I'll call her.
I would cast them in Rosemary's Baby. Yeah, let's ask the question: wouldn't Biden, Kamala Harris, and those two be excellent in Rosemary's Babies as neighbors? They'd be perfect. Joe goes in there and goes, "How's the baby?" Oh yeah,
Sniff it.
yeah. Okay, where am I? Yeah. He's coming. I'm telling you, man. They are.
How can people vote for Kamala when you're going to vote for a candidate, a vice president, who allegedly did not know that her boss had dementia?
Well, even worse, you're voting for a candidate that wasn't voted in.
Nope. And
To
who
run.
had the worst ever showing in the primary of anybody, who never won a single electoral vote.
Yeah.
The only reason they kept her in is because she was on the ticket already, so she's the one who kind of inherits the campaign funds that went to the Biden-Harris campaign.
And there are some lawyers that actually argue that point, because the money was given to the Harris-Biden campaign, and some people say that's not what I went for that ticket. Biden's off. I should be able to pull my money out.
Exactly, they should be. But it's just like with the last election, where many thousands of Democrat voters said if they'd known that the Hunter Biden laptop was real and not the Russian disinformation they were being lied, and told it was, they would have changed their vote. They would not have voted for Biden. Okay.
Oh, you know what? If you hadn't noticed, I'm in a different setting because I moved my computer upstairs.
Oh yeah, you're in your bedroom. I just didn't pay attention before. And that's why you said before when I called you that I'm going to go upstairs.
I didn't recognize this because the last time you were up here, all you could see was the headboard hitting you in the face.
You faggot.
What a visual.
Well, I was going to ask you when you told me this morning I'm going to go upstairs. I almost said, because you said you were watching a video, and I almost asked you, would you move your TV down? You have a TV in the basement now?
I have a computer here, and I have one in the lower section.
You have what? You like putting things in your lower section?
In the dungeon. So anyway, yeah, that's where the whips are. So are you ready for that?
Oh, we haven't done our happy. What is it called?
I didn't realize I actually brought it up here. And I looked over to the left and I saw it and I said, oh shit, I remembered to bring it up. You ready for the happy thought? Because I was going to tell you, my happy thought is I didn't bring any happy thoughts with me. Okay, here we go. What is this?
Oh, okay.
Oh shit. This is almost, I feel as though I've pulled this one before. Enjoy every moment.
Okay.
That's
actually good advice. You should enjoy
boring. I'm pulling another happy thought. That one, I just remember us having something just like that a couple of days ago. So don't enjoy that fucking moment, okay? Because it sucked.
Oh. Speaking of HARP and other radioactive things and so forth, there was a guy who was trying to tape something and make a video which he wound up posting on, I think, Instagram. And he said, this was in Arizona. He said, I don't understand why I'm going to cut out. He goes, I'm right below two cell towers here. And he shows the two cell towers. And this service get cutting off. He said, it should be strong here. He said, I'm only getting 1 to 2 bars. Then it goes up to 3. And then it goes down to 1 again. Rather than stay up at 3 or 4, which is what would make sense. And then he says, wait a minute. There's another tower. There's a Verizon tower over there. And he has Verizon. Why would all these cell towers, was his cell phone not getting the service it was supposed to have? Which brings me to what a lot of people have been said for a while now. 5G is not to help your phone work better. Okay, 5G is radioactivity. 5G is possibly responsible for what happened years ago in the Cuban embassy, and the American embassy in Cuba. Remember
Mm-hmm.
the consulate, not embassy, consulate, where a lot
Well,
of people got.
I was a
sick.
radar technician, and we ran our radar in the gigahertz. But so I don't know if it's a frequency issue or whether or not it's the way they count data. I don't know. But anyway, the thing is,
Yeah, but if you change the frequencies have been known to affect the human body.
every frequency affects the human body. Every
There you go.
frequency is a physical entity, and it will interact with all physical matter.
Yes, that's why music can make you feel better, because it does something to your body that affects your
It'll
mood.
change your heartbeat.
Yeah.
If you're doing a drumming circle, they check people's heartbeats, and they found out that everybody's heartbeat tried to come equal to the beat of the drum. So
I've never
anyway,
heard that. Wow, that's odd.
this is a happy thought that I think came from the spirit of Dr. Ben Carson. Do you know who he is?
Yeah, I know who Dr. Ben Carson is. One of the best neurological surgeons in the world, especially
Right.
a juvenile.
Heart surgeon. Yeah. Okay, here we go.
Brain surgeon. Wait.
Oh,
Yeah,
all right.
brain surgeon.
I thought it was a.
No.
Was,
He was the premier.
All right, it didn't come from him. God
What?
damn it! I thought he was a heart surgeon. I forgot he was a brain surgeon. You're right. He actually had the first successful separation of Siamese twins that were connected at the brain.
Yes.
They said it was impossible for him to do that. Okay, here we go. Man, the movie
is impossible until somebody does it.
Well,
that should be a happy thought.
I like the phrase
that's a happy thought. What?
I like the phrase that says impossibility is simply a term to define the difficulty of the task.
That's good.
Okay,
yeah,
so
like Paul saying, the difficult we do immediately, the impossible takes a little longer.
Who was the first guy who actually swapped out a heart?
Dr. Bernard, Christian Bernard.
This is
I'm
from Christian.
surprised that was in 1968, and the guy lived, I think, 30 days or not 60 days, whatever.
Hey, he's a fucking African. Who gives a shit?
South African.
Oh well, then like Elon. Well, Elon Musk is a South African.
Himself an African American.
Yeah, he is an African American. He's one of the few. But anyway, I
got cousins who are African Americans. They were born in Angola, and they are American citizens now.
Okay, here is the happy thought that almost didn't get read. All right, so here we go. But it is extremely trite.
Wait. You going with a second happy thought?
Yes, because the first one sucked.
It didn't suck. It
was blasé. This one is bad enough that we can ridicule it quite well. Find what makes your heart smile. Despicable.
You can sometimes you find what makes your heart smile, and in the end, it makes your wallet empty.
I think it should be adjusted to find what makes your farts smile.
Smell.
Because the thing is that have you ever blown out a fart that was so fucking bad you were proud of it? Wow, does that stand? Woo! That was
not so much proud, but you're even afraid of it.
Yeah.
I remember my friend Paul one time. Three of us were headed. Me, Little Joe, and Paul were headed up to Belleville to go to pool hall. Why we were going up to Belleville? Who the fuck knows? But Paul had recently had surgery on his hemorrhoids, and he was not supposed to hold back on the farts. So we're driving up there. I had to pull up. We had the windows open. We're zooming up the road because in those days, even with the speed limits, I mean, there were too many cars blocking us on the road like today. And we're zooming up the road, and the wind is coming through. He lets one rip that little Joe hang himself out the window on the passenger side. I stuck my head out the driver's side window. Paul's in the back seat there, and I had to pull over. It was so bad. And we get out of the car, and then Paul goes, "I can't even fucking stand myself," and he runs out.
Well, a skunk. They say a skunk can't smell its own hole, but that's not always true. But yeah, good old Ben Carson was not part of this. I didn't like him at all because I just felt like he was. It always felt like I was listening to somebody who was on the verge of falling asleep. He's like, but the thing is that over time,
He's one of the geniuses of our time.
Yeah, the thing is that it was like Ted Cruz. I couldn't stand Ted Cruz when I first saw him, and now I like him a lot. It's I just
is that because of your politics having evolved, or is that because you've gotten faggier as you've gotten older?
Well, you should know, but anyway, the thing is that
yes, I have to beat you away with a stick, and I'm the one who got you. I'm the one who got you exiled from New Jersey.
I know that's a fantasy of yours.
He's a danger to mankind.
Oh, this is a really queer conversation, but anyway.
Yeah, how did this turn? This turn into a homo joke thing?
The reason
I'm not saying homophobic because neither of us are afraid of homosexuals, and so I think that's a bad term.
I would be, that's for sure. But anyway, the thing is that not all homosexuals are equal. That's for sure. But anyway, the thing is that the reason why I didn't like Ted Cruz was because I felt like I was listening to a Baptist minister. It was always about God and this and that and the other thing, and it always felt like he was just, in a sense, just quoting his religion. And then overall, as time went on, I softened up to that because I started seeing the wisdom in his words. And and as politicians go, I think he's been pretty honest with this.
Yeah. All right. I want to get on to a couple other things. One more thing, at least. There are, Kamala's thing about we have to be unburdened by the past, so forth. That is a communist line, an old-time communist line. Move forward without being unburdened by the past. Those are communist slogans. They've been used for decades. And this bitch is flaunting those slogans out in front of us. All right. And the head of the American Communist Party is even on videotape saying those words and saying that we are going to move forward. There's no going back. We're not going backwards. We're going to move forward. That's a communist slogan. And being unburdened by what was and for the future means forget about what was. We're going to destroy that and start a new communist.
It's thoroughly understandable when you consider the fact that they're trying to eradicate the past structure of the country and basically replace it with their whatever you want to call it, communism or whatever. But the thing is that you don't want to remember the wisdom of Sam Adams or Thomas Jefferson or the bravery of George Washington because they're associated with the Constitution. And the Constitution is your enemy if you're a communist because it gives people the authority to exert certain behaviors that supersede the state. And the state.
Did you see what Hillary was saying about the First Amendment? That maybe it shouldn't exist because certain information shouldn't be out there. That's the whole point. You fucking evil bitch.
Well, actually,
is for people to be able to speak out against what they perceive as wrong.
I have to agree with her. I have to agree with her on one point, and that is, I would exercise that idea just once, and that is to have her shut the fuck up. Because we don't need that bullshit coming from her. She's a fucking parasite, and she always has been, and she's not worth listening. She's a has-been, and she can't give up the fact that she got her ass kicked by Trump, and she doesn't like the fact that she got bitch slapped by Trump.
Because she was promised the presidency years earlier. Hey,
Hillary, I'm
did
sorry.
you see what happened? Did you see what happened this week in Colorado? That woman, I think her name is Tina Peters. She kept a record of all the votes coming in Colorado, and had those records because she recorded everything before they destroyed the ballots, and her evidence shows that there was a lot of shit going on that was not supposed to be. Because she did that, they went after her tooth and nail, right? And she was sentenced the other day by a fucking judge who I hope he gets colon cancer, that motherfucker. I'm sorry to say, but
No.
this scumbag, he sentenced her to 9 years. 9 years in jail because she went and record and kept records of ballots that they purposely destroyed right after the election because they didn't want people to know that this was bullshit.
So he basically
now we got another fucking political prisoner.
January
6th.
Recording the records, but he didn't find anybody guilty of falsifying the records.
No.
Okay.
Oh, that didn't even come into it. He called her despicable and the danger and so forth. Fuck him.
I told him to go fuck himself.
The motherfucker, he deserves the most painful, prolonged death.
Well,
possible.
First of all,
I'm sorry. I know that's evil. God forgive me for even thinking talking this way.
No, it's not evil. It's called vindication. I think that it's okay to wish wrongdoers to be punished for their wrongdoing, and an eye for an eye. And the thing is that reveling in it, that's that may not be a healthy thing. If I was in
I'm
war,
not reveling in my wishes for him. I want justice for this woman.
Look,
this guy is a scumbag. He's sold his soul. He sold his country.
Listen, I'm backing you up. I'm trying to say that if I was in a situation where I was in a life and death battle, every time when I would harm my opponent, that would bring me joy because that diminishes his capacity to harm me. So it takes pressure off of me. So the point is that when you're at war and you're taking out the enemy, that's one less son of a bitch that can hurt you and yours. So there's a joyful, positive experience in doing so. Is it something that you would accept under other circumstances? A lot of times, no. Unless you're, if you can stop an adversary from harming you, that's a good feeling. So, and the thing is, my
point is not so much from stopping it from hurting me or others. Well, that in part that would do it, but it's more retribution.
Right, but here's the thing: she's already.
Justice, I call it.
But here's the thing: this woman, right, who was wise enough and savvy enough to go ahead and record these incidences independently, felt that there was need to do so. Okay, so she felt there was need to do so. Why? Because she felt that wrongdoing was happening. Okay, fine. So I'm quite sure she was aware of the machine that she was out to expose. And I'm quite sure she was aware that the political powers that she's fighting are so powerful they could do what they did to her. But she did it anyway because, not just because she's a patriot, but because she is a true and honest person of high integrity. Yes. So her punishment is that she established her integrity, her excellence, and that she is paying for it in skin and blood. And that is her reward. And the thing is, the people that die, that are cowards, die a miserable death. But those who die heroically, they die but one. He who died, he who died.
Cowards die 1,000 deaths.
That's it.
And,
That's it.
yes.
That's what I was going to
And,
remember.
yes.
The
hero dies
once. So the thing is that she's going through this discord, and I'm quite sure there are many people who are aware of it, like yourself, that are out to undo this. Okay, and I'm quite sure when Trump becomes president, it's going to be on his table.
Oh, yeah. That and January 6th will be first day. I think he'll pardon everybody from January 6th.
Absolutely.
Even the ones who probably did something wrong, but they've served enough time, I think. They've served more time than these animals who don't belong in our country, who are killing and raping Americans.
And at the same time of releasing those people, creating a committee to review the January 6th committee and all of their behaviors, and to see if wrongdoing was done, if there was falsification of judgment.
Yeah, I saw one Democrat congresswoman or senator or whatever the hell she was saying that oh no, that they are protected from the they who are on the January 6th committee are protected from whatever they did by the Constitution. Bullshit! Don't be hide behind the document, the same document that you're trying to destroy. You fucking cunt.
Well, wait a second. First of all, falsehoods do not live within the Constitution. Those are just attempted interpretations that will not see the light of day. So, the thing is a true and honest review of the situation will prove them to be guilty, will prove them to be responsible, and prove them to be punished. Because these are people, they did wrong, not just to individuals, but they did wrong to our country. They did wrong to
they did incredible harm to our country.
Yes. So, I mean, it's going to take decades to clean this mess up. Okay. Yeah. So, first we get the big man in the House, and then we got JD Vance there. So we have backup. Okay. We have a B plan. JD Vance has proven himself for sure to be intellectually sharp and incredibly informed. I mean, his understanding of Trump's policies and actions blew my mind. He's extraordinary. Plus, on top of that, he has a blue collar background, and I like those things. It's going to take a felon and a hillbilly to straighten this.
Did you see how every time Waltz comes out, he's like, you know what it reminds me of? Like Helen, that bitch Ellen on TV, or Oprah, the way they come out, it's all this Hollywood bullshit. Here I am. Yeah, I mean,
that's called
he makes the late Richard Simmons look manly.
There's a name for that. It's called jazz hands.
Really?
Yeah.
I think more fag hands myself, but
well, in his case, it might be faggy jazz hands. But the thing is that
faggy hands.
I'll be honest with you. If he's homosexual, he's giving them a bad name.
Yeah, homosexuals should protest. They should do what the left does to the. They should do what the left does to Peter Thiel and other conservative homosexuals. Oh no, he's not gay. He's got to be gay.
Be proud of your homosexuality. Keep it to yourself.
Who was it that said? Who was it that said? I heard him say it twice already on a podcast. I can't remember who it was, but he says, "Look, bisexual just means gay. That's all it is."
What bothers me about
if you're like a little dick, you still like dick. Okay.
The presumption that white people control everything, and then they have these black only things or these Latino only things or whatever. It kind of bothers me because it's like, I don't know. It's like, I don't know. It seems like it promotes racism.
Oh yeah, sometimes you look at TV these days, which I don't have regular TV anyway, but all these shows,
I
it
do.
looks like we could be in a country in the middle of Africa.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to put down the black people either. One thing it did do is it made me realize how they may have felt years ago when everything they saw on TV was all whites. Okay,
Yeah.
so I understand that,
I knew
but
that.
that's tough. Let's not make the white guy, especially the white father, the stupidest person on the tube.
When I was working in Conrail in 1978 or whatever, I would have to take a bus into Newark in the morning and then take another bus to Island, Newark, right? So I'm in the center of Newark, and I'm telling you, it was predominantly black by a mile. It was like I felt like
Whereabouts? Broaden Market?
yeah,
Oh, yeah,
broken.
that's where my mother used to take us shopping every Saturday. And me or my brother, or just me, or just him, and we would go down there all the time. It was mixed,
Right.
but it was not dangerous.
But my favorite store down there was a toy store, right in Broad Market. I don't think it's there anymore. And you know what the name of it was?
If I
It's
knew,
pathetic.
I would have said it.
We Be Toys. We Be
Oh,
Toys.
come on, that was a real store?
That
No,
was a real store. I am
I,
not
was-
bullshit.
I thought I always heard that. I always heard that as a joke. They said, "Oh, the blacks they have a black-owned Toys R Us store now. It's called We Be Toys."
It was a
I didn't
joke.
know it
And
was
it
a real
was cool.
store.
It's like, man, I can't believe you named that store We Be Toys. There was also another store in Newark that was an eatery. It was called Big Black Ass Cowboy.
I never heard that. I never saw. I
They,
was a
they
kid
were
when I used to go down there, so I never.
because I worked right next in an area down there. I forget the name of it now. Durant Yard. No, not Durant. It was Wow, it's not Hunter. Was it Hunter? Yeah, I think it was Hunter Yard. Anyway, yeah, so it was in the Newark area, and it was pretty much off of McCarter Highway, and we used to drive by it all the time. And every time I used to see it, I used to go, I can't believe somebody named a store Big Black Ass Cowboy. And it was a barbecue place, and it had a reputation of having great barbecue.
Yeah,
But
we,
every once in a while you see the name of a store that is like will shock you. So those were my crazy ones in Newark. But that was in the the first one, We Be Toys. That was in the I think it was in the what was that? The early that no like 77, maybe 78.
see,
And
I'd stopped long. I hadn't been down to the center of Newark, the Broad Market, which is the
I
middle
doubt
of
if it's there anymore.
downtown.
I
And
could look it
years.
up right now see if there's any memories of Weeby Toys because somebody might have made note of it, because it's
Maybe that's where the joke came from. But
well.
I
I'm saying
thought the joke
that's
was
my
I thought the joke was actually older than that. I may be
um.
wrong.
Well, I don't know. I'm gonna look it up right now and see if I can find something on the subject because um it's so bizarre that it might actually be remembered by some people.
Well, there are on Facebook. They have these Newark things. I wonder. Yeah, but I don't think they would necessarily put that in. Let's check this.
We
Yeah.
be we are toys. We are toys. Oh, we be toys. That's in Idaho Falls. What? So this one is spelled WEE, like it's small B. So there's nothing popped up, but it was we like in Toys R Us with the
Yeah.
with the B by itself. Oh, that's why I didn't find it because I didn't spell it right. Okay. Okay. B Toys. Nope. Oh, about at We Be Toys where so there is a place called no. Oh, no, Is it? Yeah, I think so. There is a place, Weeby Toys, but I don't know if it's there. Well, just to let you know, there is a place called Weeby Toys now. I don't know
Where?
anything about Weeby Toys. I don't know. I just called it up. Uh, let's see. It is in Israel.
Are you kidding me?
What do you Yavin? Yay, Yavne, Yavin, Yavne? I don't know. Street, Tel Aviv, Israel. So I didn't know they had a large black population. Shit. Oh, you know what? UB Toys, Newark, New Jersey.
Ah,
See, now if I don't find it, nobody's going to believe me.
1970s.
Wait a second. Okay. Oh, so you found it?
No, I'm asking you.
Oh. Best 10 Toys
telling you.
in Newark, New Jersey. No. Toys R Us.
Let me see if I can do a search and find it. Let's see. Weeby Toys. Newark.
I'm going to put that in quotes so it doesn't just give me North New Jersey.
Yes, toy stores in Newark. Reviews. There's 30 toy stores in Newark. Let's see.
We're going to lose our audience.
Tokyo. What? Toy Tokyo Online. Jack's Toy Shop. Yeah, you want to get your kids something from Jack's Toy Shop.
Yeah, I can't find it right now.
Both toys. No, I don't see any Weeby toys.
Okay, but it was there, and maybe one of our listeners will confirm. But
Right.
So there's that. And wait a second. Let me see if I can vindicate myself. Big black cowboy.
Barbecue.
Well, we'll work with that first.
Yeah.
These pictures of black guys with their shirts off wearing cowboy hats.
That's ridiculous. See, this is an excuse for you to engage in your homosexual tendency.
Yeah, you ain't getting. Pretty soon, I'm going to be getting a YMCA song thrown my way. North 1970s Firebound, vintage photos. No, we don't want that one. Black cowboys paraded through Harlem. What? With Muhammad Ali. Cowboys, black cowboys. Yeah, okay. 40 beloved New Jersey restaurants that closed too soon.
I think it was something like 1/4 of all cowboys in the Old West were actually black.
Well, all I know. What? Oh, Jesus. Images of big black cowboy barbecue. Wait a second. I think I found something.
You found a big black cowboy you like?
Yeah. Oh. No, McWater's barbecue. God damn it. Okay.
What?
I don't know. It's. I get. We're talking about way back when, so I don't know if anybody kept any images of it. I would think so. But.
Or maybe are you using Google? Because you'd have to go 7 pages in to find anything that's true.
No, I'm using DuckDuckGo.
DuckDuckGo. Unfortunately, they also I get some of their stuff through Google first, but that's okay. They're better than.
There's only so much you can do. Yeah.
Google. I hate Google.
I only use Google when it comes to maps, but I also
I got to hand it to them that they are.
On rare occasion, I use Yandex.
Yandex?
Yeah.
I'm going to try that one. I got a few that I use. I use, well, there's Brave, which I like. There's Quant, which is totally private, and Start Page, also very quiet. And there's one called Tusk. And
I also use
Boji. These are all stuff that don't keep your information like Google does.
Well, here's another thing. I also use, even though it's not intended to be used that way, I also use YouTube as a search engine because I just type stuff in and see what happens.
It's also owned by Google.
Okay.
YouTube.
Anyway,
I think we've gone way about 10 minutes past where we should have stopped. So I'm going to say, but you have to go do your stuff that you were planning on doing at 10 o'clock, and it's already 10:34. So
wow.
I will let you get move on, and we will say goodbye to everyone right now. And thank you for joining us. We'll be back soon with another episode.
Yes, preferably.
I'm going to try and put some. I'm going to do something I've never done before. I'm going to try and put some pictures up of the HARP installations, the weather affecting installations, including a boat, that they have.
I think it's HAARP. It's
HAARP. Yes, it is. And yeah. I'm going to try and see if I can figure out how to add these pictures either before or after our recorded podcast.
Well,
okay? What? What do you mean 1 second? Now what?
Let's see something here. High frequency active auroral research program. So I guess the Aurora. Aurora. So find it. It's not hard to find. It just popped up.
Yeah.
The most powerful ionosphere heater in the Earth. It's a ionosphere heater. Interesting. Guess what? What the hurricane needed? Heat.
Oh, you know what they found out back in 1970 when they first used this thing to seed the clouds? They thought that they would be able to seed the clouds and make hurricanes weaker and die out. Right? Turns out the opposite effect happened. It made the hurricane stronger.
Oh,
now
wow.
They have that knowledge, so they know. So you're looking at Helene the other day. It was down to a Category 3, maybe even a 2, and all of a sudden it came up again to a 4. And then not only that, it moved inland to a place where it never hurricanes should never pass. Okay,
right.
And flooded mountain areas. Okay,
right.
That's enough. I'm not going to beat a dead horse this time. And
let me see. Wait a second.
There we go. And then he complains I let the podcast go on too long.
Well, you do. We wouldn't be going on.
This is the guy who admonished me so many times that we need to keep it to 15 minutes. But just a sec. Hold on a moment.
Need some help with weapons. Okay.
Need some help with weapons.
I actually tried to find out what the installation date was, but it wouldn't give it to me. Okay, need some help with weapons of the new millennium mod? What? I asked this question on the second Fonz subreddit. What's a Fon? Fon. FONV? Fonv?
I have no idea.
Okay. Anyway,
right, look,
goodbye, everyone.
Why don't you keep that page bookmarked and look it up before our next podcast? Maybe we can do something on that.
Not worth repeating. Okay, catch you later, brother.
Why was it worth waiting for that? All right, so long. See you soon, folks. And remember, if you like this episode, please rate, share, comment, and share it with your friends. I'm going to be putting this on all social media that I have access to. Rumble, Gab, Getter, Facebook, all over the place.
And if you're not going to do that for us, then don't come back. Okay, do it. Oh, by the way, the program began in 1990.
1970 was when they discovered they could.
1990 is when the program began. It says on Wikipedia.
Okay, HARP began in 1990, but 1970, they already knew how to seed the clouds and make a storm worse.
Well,
Okay.
in early May
Oh, there's
2015,
another thing. What about that?
they shut down the waiting. Okay, they shut it down in 2013. Okay,
Supposedly.
so it was already. It was well. That's what this is. This is Wikipedia. They never lie.
Oh, fucking Wikipedia. Yeah, that's all written by leftists who have nothing to do but
It's written by anybody. It's written by
propagandize. Okay,
well.
there's another thing. Wait. Aside from the hurricanes, there is another thing where they discovered that has the frequency that can create earthquakes.
Okay.
Okay, and
Yeah.
we've had earthquakes in areas that never had earthquakes before and shouldn't have earthquakes because of the
Right.
composition of the subsoil.
Work on HARP facility began in 1993. Initially, HARP was jointly funded by the United States Air Force and the U.S. Navy, the University of Alaska Fairbanks, and the Advanced Research Projects Agency, DARPA. Wow.
DARPA, yes, that's another one.
So what? Why are you creating a research facility that's associated with defense? You know, oh my God. DARPA.
Well, it used to be, the Department of Defense, remember, was originally called the Department of War.
Since 2015, it has been operated by the University of Alaska and Fairbanks. So there you go. CIA must run them.
Well, by the way, remember yesterday I told you that Melania Trump tried to give $1 million away and they refused it. Turns out, I remember now, she was giving scholarships to a university, and that university turned it down because it was coming from a Trump.
Right.
Fucking jerk off. I wish I could remember the name of that stupid university. But
here's the
maybe
thing.
we'll future podcast.
Here's the thing. That university, because that went viral, anybody who's interested in going to that college is going, you know what? That college is refusing money from people for scholarships. So I'm going to get a scholarship someplace else, someplace where they don't refuse $1 million.
There you go. Okay, folks, have a good rest of your day. We'll see you.
Wait a second.
There we go.
Got one more thing.
That's it. As you can see, he's a piece of shit.
We got this again. Let me down.
Yeah, you look like the orangutan in Any Which Way But Loose. What was it, Clyde? I'm going to start calling you Clyde now. Clyde, left turn, Clyde.
It's like the whole planet, monkey boy.
You remember that? Right turn, Clyde. Clyde.
Yes, it's a madhouse. A madhouse.
I want to disconnect, but this is great theater here. So you are the ugliest ape I've ever seen.
That's
So long, folks. Bye. Enjoy your day.